Well, welcome to Hexagon Hacks. I'm Rebecca, and I'm excited to kick off this week's session. Each week, a member of the Digital Thinker team shares practical tips, highlights lesser known features, and answers common questions, like today's topic, which was requested by a user. So if you have any ideas for future sessions, feel free to drop them in the chat. And if you ever miss a session, you can find all the recordings on the Digital Thinker YouTube channel. And for this particular series, the recordings will be available in the Hexagon Hacks 2016 playlist. And I'll be sure to include a link in the meeting chat. But with that, I will go ahead and hand it over to Jordan to dive into today's topic.
Sounds good. Thanks, Rebecca. So I just created a quick little slide for us. It's actually just covering the topic. So let me know if you can't see my little PowerPoint slide here. So what I wanted to talk about is generating email notifications using alert management. So this was one of the requests that came in, as Rebecca noted. So basically saying it would be great if we could figure out how to generate automatic email alerts for overdue work orders. So currently, if y'all use email notification setup, kind of the out-of-the-box email notification setup, you can trigger based off of an insert, update, or delete. Well, what happens in the case of, you know, say a work order is overdue or a purchase order is overdue and needs to be approved? You might get a notification when that status changes. But if, something's been sitting out there for 7 days and is overdue and needs to be approved or needs to be revisited, there's no way with that email notification setup without a trigger to be able to check that. So what I wanted to cover today is essentially a way around that using alert management. So I'm going to cover kind of how to set it up and then kind of talk about a little bit as well how you can use alert management outside of this specific use case we're going to cover. So I'm just going to switch my screen. I'll just, oh, here we go. Stop share, switch it to my new screen. Okay, so here is an alert that I built just to, I did build one similar for another customer, but what I wanted to look at is work orders in a scheduled status that are overdue. So normally you can get an email notification when a work order gets moved to the scheduling status. But what happens if a work order's been scheduled, it's overdue? How do I get notified that that work order is overdue? I can create a Cognos report and maybe send out an email alert, or I can also do it with using alert management. So the first thing I have to do is every alert that you create will use a grid. So first we have to create the grid. So if I go to my grid designer, this is the grid here that I created. So one thing to note when making this grid is it needs to be an alert management grid type. And then I believe the second character needs to be a U when you're creating it. So here I made my grid work orders and scheduling past due, just using R5 events. And then I put a couple of filters in here. So in our internal EAM environment, there's an assigned slash scheduled status that I wanted to search on. I also want to know if I want to filter out on only work orders that are assigned to someone. So if it's assigned to someone, the status is in an assigned to scheduled, and the start date is basically less, or basically it's been scheduled to start for 7 days is what that comes out to be. So it's been sitting out there, it's supposed to start 7 days ago. It's in a scheduled status. It's been assigned to someone. I want to get an email letting me know, hey, this work order has been sitting out there and needs to be completed. The other thing I added in here is looking at the alert history table. So if you think about it, if I am how alerts work is you set up a time frame of how often they generate. So I could have this generate, once an hour, once a day, once a week, depending on how often I want to be alerted. What I have built in here is looking at this specific alert. Have I been notified of this work order being essentially past due and in a scheduled status within the last 7 days? If I've been alerted within the last 7 days, I don't want it to send out on its daily occurrence that I've set it up for. And here, added a bunch of fields. This one's pulling in the status description here, but overall, this is going to be pretty straightforward on all just basic R5 events fields. I go to validation, I create my default data spy, and then I act. So now my grid has been created, and I'll show you kind of what that looks like within alert management here. So if I preview my grid, here are two work orders that pull up within that grid criteria that I just explained. So I've got, two scheduled start dates here that are, not within, I believe anything within 422 or earlier would pop up here. It's in that assigned scheduled status, and it is also assigned to a specific user here. Now, I did run this earlier this morning, and there were 34 other work orders. But since those 34 work orders have already been showing up in that alert history, then those are actually excluded from this next run that I'll perform here. So when setting up my alert management, I need to create an alert here, give it a description, associate my grid, pick a data spy, and then put in the grid key fields here. So think of these as kind of like your primary keys, your unique keys. How do you identify if there's how do you individualize your work orders? In this case, you want the individual to be a work order and both its organization. That'll separate it from the other R5 events records in the system. And I'll also need to make sure that I select email active alert type. So there's other types of ways you can use alert management. You can have it schedule every day to run a Python script for you. You can have it to auto-generate your PM work orders. So say for your maintenance department in your California organization, you want to have your work orders for your PM work orders generate every 7 days. And you can schedule that generation to occur within alert management as well. So the other thing I need to do is set my frequency. So I've got it set for every day to run at 8:36. So this is when I ran my emails this morning. And then I'm actually going to reschedule it as well to run shortly. But I just wanted to cover a couple of the other tabs here. So there's a before and after SQL. Before, think of the before SQL as before the alert runs. I want to manipulate my data in this, staging table before the alert runs, and I can manipulate the data there. You can use the before SQL, or you can use kind of what I did with that grid filter, and I filtered out based off of those, 7 days. If that work order record's run within the last 7 days, don't include it in the grid. I could also do some logic in that before SQL instead if I wanted to, keep just a generic R5 events grid. So I could use the before SQL here, and then after SQL is how do I want to manipulate the data after this alert has run. And then there's grid parameters here, so I can do specific. This is where I would add my parameters if I'm generating PM work orders. So I could add a parameter for work order department. I could add it for org. I could do it for a specific PM schedule here. If I have parameters in my grid that I've created, then I can bring those over here to use as filters for my specific alert. So the only other thing I need to do for my specific work orders and schedules that are overdue is add an email template. So this is created on the email template screen for us in our demo environment, email messenger email templates here. So I create my email template. I set it to notify myself via email. I can actually have this set to specifically go to the email of whoever it's assigned to. In this case, because it's not assigned specifically to me, those work orders, I just want the recipients to be myself. And here I've got my subject and my email body as well. So I've gone ahead and added that into my email alerts tab here, assigned the email template. And now I'm going to go ahead and run this. I can either change the next evaluation date to, 11/13, but instead what I'm going to do is go ahead and hit preview. And I can actually change this to schedule now. So I'm going to schedule it now. Now, usually this will take a couple minutes to run. So you're not immediately going to see that last evaluation date change over until the alert runs. We could wait for this to run. It'll probably send out some emails starting around 11/13, 11/14. In this case, I'm just going to go to one of my work orders or one of my emails that sent out this morning, and I'll pull it up for you so y'all can see it. And it'll look like this here. So I didn't set up my email. So within my email template, I did not set up my parameters correctly. So I do not have any of the information coming over here. But I essentially will get an email in the next couple minutes that looks something like this. So if I had set it up correctly, I would have, the work order number, who it's assigned to, when it was created, who it was created by, the status, scheduled start date, and scheduled end date. And then if I go back to EAM and I take a look at let's see if this is run yet. So it's now run. If I go to preview grid, I don't have any records in there. So now those two records are now stored in the alert history for that specific alert. And therefore, I don't need to, I won't get an email essentially for that for that specific work order record until 7 days from now when this alert runs. And those will then filter back into my preview grid here. And I did just get those emails come through here. And those are my two work orders here that just came through. Any questions? That's pretty much what I just wanted to go through. Obviously, I should have had that email template and those parameters populated, but any questions or any other topics? Just wanted to close this out here. And I'll basically pass it over to you, Rebecca, if there's no questions.
Yes, so for those parameters, would you have mapped those on the grid parameters tab?
Good question. I would have mapped them here. So when I go to my email alerts, there's an actions create parameters. And I would go through here. So basically what I would do is I can take a screenshot or I can hop back and forth between my email template here. So if I go to my email template, here I listed out 8 parameters. So what I would do here is I would go back to my alert management. So first one is going to be, looks like work order code, and then 2 is work order description. So I'll go to action, create parameter, and then I can associate my specific grid fields here. So first one, map to work order code. Second one, map to description. And then if remember the assigned to was parameter 6. For that one specifically, I would go ahead and add parameter 6 in here for assigned to. And then I would also check this recipient box here. So remember, I just hard coded my email into that field. So I didn't want, whatever emails assigned to that DTIA user to get an email. If that person is getting an email here, I can select that recipient box, and then the system will actually check to see either based off of that employee record, or it can also go to the user record to see what email that person has, and it will send an email to that. So that way you don't have to like hard code people's users if they're like potentially going to be in that assigned to field. If you only want that assigned to person getting an email, you can put %6 in the recipient, and then when you're setting up your parameter, check that box, and the system will do the research for you on what that employee record's email is.
Fantastic. Well, this has been extremely helpful. I know some of us are familiar with the email notification setup, and we're a little bit restricted in terms of the trigger for sending those email notifications. So with alert management, definitely broadens our capabilities, especially for sending those reminder emails. So thanks again, Jordan, for sharing, and we look forward to seeing you all back next week. Have a great day.
Thank you.